Hi ladies, Dionysia here, and I wanted to take some time to speak to you about really good reasons why you would want to go on a destination retreat for transformation rather than just stay home and take a workshop. Here are my top 3 reasons for you. Number 1, we grow most when we're outside of our comfort zone. Number 2, placing ourselves in a foreign land and in foreign culture expands our minds. And number 3, travel is sexy. Being cultured, being well-traveled is sexy. So to expound on all of that, we know from studies many kinds of things. We know that from a personal growth perspective and a personal development perspective, we're looking to get ourselves outside of our comfort zone, right? So when we stay home and take a workshop, sure, we can get a lot out of that. We might even implement some of that in our lives. But when we get outside of what's comfortable for us and really step outside of that, then we create a space, we create an environment where we have real growth opportunity available to us, stretching our edges a bit, yeah? I saw this really cool TED Talk once about language and how it creates neurology. So we know that each different language creates different neural pathways in the brain. And they even know that we know that things like how we move our hands and gestures and facial expressions that we make related to language are a real thing. So when we go into another environment where it's a foreign language for us, then we're actually literally expanding our minds. We're opening the opportunity for new neural pathways to be laid. We're not going to Croatia to learn to speak the language, but just being immersed in it and hearing it being spoken, that can be really beneficial to us. And I'm being a little cheeky when I say that travel is sexy, but also there's something real to that. When we grow ourselves, when we become more of ourselves, when we know more of the world and take in more of the world, it really does add to our radiance and our femininity and our magnetism. Now, in this case, you have some really, really cool added bonus things about this particular retreat. And I'm thinking that they might be the answer to what your resistances could be. So, why would you not go on this retreat? If you've been thinking about it, or even if you haven't really given it much thought, but Croatia's kind of interesting, it's beautiful, right? Well, what would be your resistances? Number 1, probably money, right? It's an expense to travel to a foreign country and to stay in other places and to invest in yourself in this way. Ladies, by the way, I have, side note, talked to spiritual financial advisors who have confirmed with me that investing in yourself is the best financial investment that you can make. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about finances related to this trip. And also, we have a fantastic spiritual financial advisor on call for you. We can hook you up with him so that he can help you see how to budget this or make good decisions about your finances in relationship to a trip like this. He's a close personal connection of Ivna's, the other retreat leader who's going to be with you for this retreat, and I think he's wonderful. So we have that resource for you if that's one of your resistances. Number 2 resistance, time. Do you have the time? Can you take the time out to go 10 days overseas and be in a retreat? And I think this is a really interesting resistance that we often have, is if we don't have the time to take out for ourselves, if we don't have time to invest in ourselves, to treat ourselves, to grow ourselves, then what are we really doing with our time? So I think that when we use time as a resistance, it's an excuse. It's something inside of ourselves that's afraid to grow in that way, that's afraid to be out of our comfort zone in that way. So have a look at that for yourself. And reach out if you're interested, but you're feeling that time crunch or that time resistance, and maybe there's some fear related to that for you. Let's have a chat about it. And that would be my 3rd resistance, fear of something new, fear of stepping out of the norm, fear of our growth, because we do experience fear when we're about to step into a new growth level. So I just want to let you know that in this particular retreat, you'd be working with 2 very seasoned personal growth educators and retreat leaders who are going to have you and walk you through all of that, and who are here for you even in advance of it. If there's something you need to talk about, there's something you need to hash out for yourself that you feel like you're up against that glass ceiling for yourself that would prevent you from committing to a retreat like this, we're here. Reach out. Let's have a talk about it. And also, I would say that it's important to note that there's something really special, though there are lots of things really special about this retreat. If you've not looked at our itinerary already, have a look in the email below and look at this itinerary. It is really stunning. It is outrageous. So the other thing, though, that I want to point out about this is that one of your two amazing retreat leaders, not me, I'm from Alabama, but Ivna, who I'm co-leading the retreat with, is from Croatia, which means she speaks the language, she knows the land, she knows the mindset, she knows the lifestyle, and she's going to be, with us through that all the way. That's a really, really special way to be traveling in a foreign country, and especially on a destination retreat. You're often traveling with retreat leaders who are not originally from the land that you're traveling in, and in this case, we're going to have that. Not only that, but she's bringing a couple other people along who are also there in Croatia right now, who are just wonderful and have so much to offer to us in terms of having this retreat be an incredible experience. So there you have it, ladies. That's my take on why traveling to a destination retreat for transformation is so much more powerful and potent than just staying home and taking a workshop. Don't get me wrong, we love workshops, but I'm just saying this is an opportunity to really, really stretch, to really grow, to really move beyond where you've been before into something that's new for you and can help build something in for you that you're going to take home with you. When you leave this retreat, you're going to go home with something you didn't have when you got there, and it's going to be something you can utilize and continue to move inside of yourself in such a way that going forward, you know how to access rest. You know how to access relaxation. You know how to access pleasure and enjoyment as a part of your life ongoingly. So I hope to hear from you. Again, check out the email below for all the details, and feel free to email me, Dionysia@hermysteryschool.com, for anything about this retreat that you're curious about, that you're wondering about, that might be what's holding you back. Reach out. Let's talk about it. We'd love to have you with us. Come to Croatia.